a lot of people ask me, why am I getting involved in politics and why am I even in this field? And I told him at the time that it was my goal to be the most credible person in the country. Credible doesn't mean right. Very important distinction. Credible doesn't mean that I'm right. Credible means that you know what my intentions are and that I put in the work and there was enough transparency where I showed you why I'm thinking what I'm thinking, how I reasoned it, what facts I thought were credible, what percentage I put it on. I can give you that. So I've spent years trying to develop, let's say, a platform in which whether you hated me or loved me, you would say, damn it, at least he's credible. Here's why I think you should listen to me. You know that, especially those who have been watching me for a while, you know that I can turn on you, right? You know that you could have an opinion you really, really care about, and you think I'm on your side, and then you hear that opinion and you're like, what the hell? What the hell is that? I thought you were going to agree with everything that Trump did. Nope. Nope. I've never agreed with everything Trump has done. And I tell you quite often to your distress when it happens. I'm not even a Republican, nor am I a conservative. I describe myself as left of Bernie, but better at math, so his programs don't make sense because of the math. But I like his objectives. I like to get to full health care availability in this country. So, I like lefty stuff if they could figure out some practical way to get there, which is always where they fall apart. So, here's the point. You know me to favor systems over goals. And I could promise you, and I think you could trust this, that if it ever came down to supporting an individual, let's say Trump, for example, over the integrity of the system, I will always pick the system. If I had to throw Trump under the bus, love him as I do, I like Trump. I've met him, enjoyed talking to him, think he's done a great job for the country, but I would throw him under the bus so fast if the election system indicates that that makes sense, right? So I'm going to go with what makes sense. I'm going to follow the system, and I would like to have a good American system when we're done, even if, here's the important part, you ready? Even if it means Trump isn't president. I would absolutely choose the integrity of the system over any one president. All right, it's not even close. I'm not even going to weigh them as even being in the same category. The system is everything. The individual is not. And that would be the approach I would take. So, if you're listening to somebody who's clearly just in the bag for the president, will agree with whatever he says, you're not going to get anything credible. You know the fake news isn't going to tell you anything useful. It's all lies because it's the news. They don't do the truth. You know the politicians are not going to be unbiased. You know your fellow voters and neighbors are not going to be unbiased. The one thing I can promise you is that I will apply reason. I will give you an estimate of the odds of any facts that I'm incorporating, and I'll tell you if it's time to move on. I see no reason that you should listen to me, to be honest. I see no reason you should listen to me. But who else are you going to listen to? Years ago, I'm going to tell you something that maybe it was a private conversation, so maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right? Several years ago, I was talking to my friend Naval Ravikant, and I told him that my objective, because a lot of people ask me, why am I getting involved in politics and why am I even in this field? And I told him at the time that it was my goal to be the most credible person in the country. Credible doesn't mean right. Very important distinction. Credible doesn't mean that I'm right. Credible means that you know what my intentions are and that I put in the work and there was enough transparency where I showed you why I'm thinking what I'm thinking, how I reasoned it, what facts I thought were credible, what percentage I put it on it. I can give you that. So I've spent years trying to develop, let's say, a platform in which whether you hated me or loved me, you would say, damn it, at least he's credible. Let me give you an example of somebody I consider credible. Michael Moore, right? That doesn't mean you agree with him. It doesn't mean he's right all the time, because that's not what credible is. Nobody's right all the time. But when Michael Moore says, hey, Democrats, I don't think you're listening, and Trump is to the voters, Michael Moore is kind of credible, right? Maybe not on every topic, but when he says stuff like that, you know he is capable of leaving the politics and saying, but people are dying here, and only one person is listening to him. Maybe you should listen to him a little bit better too. Pretty credible. Pretty credible. All right, I don't know if I'm hitting my mark, but just so you know, that's what I'm shooting for, is to be a useful component of the country in a world in which every one of our systems has lost credibility. So who are you going to believe?